So we're going to start with painting. Then hopefully we'll have time to do some drawing. We're going to do origami. It's kind of amazing, all over the place. Phenomenal stuff. All right. We need to open our paint tray. And we need to take a moment and put a drop of water on all of our colors. So drip, drop of water on each color needs a drop of water. That way they will be ready to paint in just a moment. Oh dear, I should wash my colors before I put on other colors. I just mixed up my colors and made a disaster. Now, I want to introduce you to our artist while you finish with your colors. Our artist is 86 years old. Now, his name is Jim Dine, and he's famous for all kinds of art. He draws, he paints, he does sculpture, he does mixed media, which is what we're going to do today. He also writes poetry, and he has 12 books of poems that you can actually buy and read his poetry. It's kind of amazing. And sometimes his paintings have bits of poems glued to them or stuck to them. It's kind of neat that way. This is one of his flower paintings. And Jim Dine spent a lot of time observing flowers, meaning he would look at them carefully and then he would draw and paint them. And he would look at them carefully and draw and paint them. Here's another one of his paintings. This is mixed media. So there's charcoal drawing, there's paint, watercolor paint, there's pencils. Do you see his signature at the top of the paper? Can you find it at the top in the middle? Isn't that neat? Jim Dine says that he loves to scribble on top of his messed up art. So sometimes, like, you look at this picture and you're like, well, there's some spots that are smeared. Does that mean he messed up? Probably. He has an eraser in one hand, his charcoal in the other, and he's drawing and erasing, and then he'll smudge it. He said sometimes his pictures can take him 3 or 4 years to work on. Now, I have to show you this next one, and it makes me laugh. This one is called Self-Portrait in a Ski Hat. Do you see Jim Dine in there? What? Huh? Amy, talk to us.
But then this guy's obliterated by tulips.
Right? Amy, go ahead.
I wasn't sure it was him, but I saw his eye in the, I think it's his eye. I don't see it. His eye in the top tulip.
Maybe. So this picture is a good example of what Jim Dine does. So he started with drawing a picture of himself wearing a ski hat. And he said, I don't like it. It's terrible. And so he drew flowers on top of his mistake. Obliterated by tulips. It just makes me laugh because it's so fun. So today we're going to be working on some pictures, a picture of flowers that you are allowed to mess up. All right. Now I'm going to show you mine as an idea of where we're going. Okay. I started with some flower stems. I added some leaves down at the bottom. My flowers are origami. So we'll do our flowers in a few minutes. You can put your origami paper to the side. We're actually going to start with any color green you like. and go around a few times. So when I grab my green, I'm going to go round and 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 get a bunch of it on my brush. And then I just let my brush go. Did you see that? It goes up. I started at the bottom and just swooshed it up. That's going to be one of my flower stems. Then I wash my brush. I'm going to grab a different color green and go round and round, filling up my brush. If your stems crisscross, cool. If your stems do something different, like go straight up in the air, cool. You do your own stems. Now, I like to do 3 stems. You might like to do 4 or 5. Try to make your stems different.
Doing one stem off the page.
Good. That's cool. If you want to do more, that's fine. If you want to do less, that's fine. Now, my stems are pretty intense. I used a lot of paint on my paintbrush. This time, Windsor, when I do my leaves, I'm going to use less paint. So I grab my water and I'm only going to go 1 time around my paint. So I'm using a lot less paint this time. And I'm going to start adding some leaves. So here we go, Windsor. I'm going to go 1 time around on my paint. And I'm going to start adding some leaves just at the bottom of my flower. Okay. Yours will probably look different than mine, and that's a good thing. Some of your leaves might be tall, some might be short. But only try to keep your color light. So I have a lot of water, but I only go around with my paint 1 time. So it's going to be lighter. My stems are dark. Okay. And if you want to go back over your stems 1 more time to darken them up, make them more obvious, that's cool too. Sometimes I like to do that. So we're setting up the basic idea of our painting. And just like Jim Dine is constantly changing his painting. He comes back and he's like, ooh, not sure I like that so much. That's what I'm back here. I'm adding, making my stems more obvious. And then I just get a light bit of paint on my brush to work on leaves at the bottom. Good. Try to make your brush strokes really swoosh for the leaves at the bottom. Do you all notice I have a drip on my paper over here? And then up here, I've ended up with a drip up here. In a minute, that's not going to matter at all. Okay. So as you come to a stopping point with your leaves and your stems, I have a question I need your help with. We need to choose a dull color. How would you go about figuring that out? What do you think a dull color is?
Gray.
Oh, James votes gray. Ruby, talk to us. What do you think makes something dull?
It's like some colors, like not like this half.
Okay.
But it's more like dark and not as like colorful and like dull. Just very dark and like dull. Not as fun as I like.
Okay, so darker. That was a really good.
More boring.
Or tell me again, Ruby, I missed that.
More boring.
Ooh, what a good description. Boring colors. Ooh, I like that word. That was smooth move. Okay. James is voting for gray. Ruby just gave us a fantastic synonym. I'm going to pull my paint tray over so you can see it. Lincoln, I'll check in and you can tell me if I'm thinking the right thing here. This side of my tray, yellows and oranges and pinks and reds and blues. Those are bright. I should not use those. Dull would be the browns and the grays that are over here, not black, right? Because black is just plain old dark. Dull means that it's not bright. It's dull. Lincoln, how'd I do? Did I do okay? Or what would you add to that?
You could do white so that you couldn't see it anymore.
Ah, okay. So white is actually called light. It's a little bit tricky that way. I would say that white is more light. But what we're going to do is work on the background. So I'm going to go for a dull color with a lot of water, not much paint, but just scribbling around on my background. When you get close to your leaves, try to slow down. You might paint a little on top of the leaves, but we're going to work on that again in a minute. So as you get close to your leaves, slow down. Do you see my paint is really light? Yeah, that's not light. That is a mistake. So how do I fix it? Grab some water and spread it around. I'm using a lot of different browns, even a greenish brown in the background. I'm trying to keep my color all dull. So I am working carefully at filling in the entire background. As I get close to the leaves, I want to try to slow down. I want to keep my color light. I did it again. Okay, let's see if I can fix it. This is somewhat how Jim Dine is working. He suddenly will mess up on accident with these like really strong colors, and he's like, oh, this is not good. And then he goes and just changes it, or he paints over it, or he fixes it, or it's okay to mess up. Artists mess up all the time. That's how we figure out the next best thing. Somebody asked Jim Dine, hey, how do you know what your picture's going to look like? He's like, I don't. I figure it out while I go. And that's kind of what we're doing today. It's good to do some art where you already know what it's going to look like at the end. You know, our painting from last week, we kind of knew what it was going to look like when we got to the end. Our painting today may be a little different than what my picture is. Okay. As you finish your background, so I have filled my whole background. As you finish, we're going to transition to origami. We're going to put our painting off to the side so it can get dry. I'm actually, for the most part, done with my paint. So if you want to close them up when you're done painting, and we'll kind of get them out of the way. And I'm going to...
I need a bigger brush.
Oh, no.
Because I've been working for about 5 minutes and I've only gone this far.
But I do like your tone, James. The paint color looks great. So keep going with that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take your time on what you're doing. It's not a race. If you're still working, take your time. Okay. We're going to finish up. Windsor might need a little bigger brush too. Looks like Windsor and James both have the teeny tiny brushes going. Good color choice there, Windsor.
I'm going to get a bigger brush then.
Oh, good, good, good. Whoa, okay, good choosing there, Ruby. Lincoln, talk to me.
I had the wrong paper. I thought we were using the white paper.
Oh, yeah. So now we're using origami paper. Lincoln, have you done origami before?
Not really.
Okay.
You made a
Amy?
fortune teller?
Ooh, that's a good one, James. Lincoln, have you made a fortune teller?
Yeah, I can make it, but the last step is hard to make it look like the shape it's supposed to.
Well, then technically you have done origami before.
True. That's a good point, James. Yeah. Okay. So Amy said you've done some origami before. It's maybe not your best skill.
Ruby
that was
said
Ruby.
that she. Oh, sorry. Ruby was talking about that. I have a fortune teller book. I have a book that just has a bunch of ideas for fortune tellers.
Okay, that sounds cool.
And I just make fortune tellers out of that. So I have had experience with origami because I have a whole basket of fortune tellers now.
I've made with like scrap paper, like paper swords and paper shields and stuff.
Okay. Ooh, that sounds kind of cool, actually. Windsor, have you done origami before? Yeah, think about it.
My friend Lucille may have taught me how to make like a little basket with it.
Well, that sounds awesome. I like that a lot. James, great background. Good work finishing. Lincoln's done with his background, right, Lincoln? Lincoln, talk to us.
I think I'll have to have more flowers than you because I have more stems.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, and we'll talk about that in just a minute because you'll probably have some big flowers and some little flowers here in just a second. Yeah. All right, James is getting some origami paper. Amy, you getting close over there, friend? Woo, woo, ooh, Ruby, that's amazing. I love it. I love it. Windsor, are you getting close to your back?
That's too boring.
Good. Background is boring. Lincoln, very fun. Let's get finishing. Origami, and I'm going to start talking. So my friends who are still painting, no stressing. Okay, you will be fine. Origami is the art of folding paper. Now, we're actually going to, in a minute, do a little cheating, and we're going to use scissors. Okay, true origami does not use glue and does not use scissors or tape. It is only folding paper. We are going to do folding paper to make a flower with petals. Now, I want to show you backwards origami. So this is my finished flower. But watch what happens when I unfold it. Okay, so I'm going to do it in reverse. I'm going to open it, open it, open it, open. Now, watch, I'm going to go backward. I'm going to go forwards. You don't, James, you're fine. If you want to do it with me, you can. If you want to just watch, that's a good idea too. Mine is a diamond. I'm going to fold my diamond down. Then I'm going to turn it into a mountain. Did you see how I did that? I turned it into a mountain by just turning it over. Now it's pointing up. My mountain is going to fold all the way down so it makes a little valley like that. Windsor, take your time. I'm going to do this again. It's not a rush. No race. So my valley is a little below. I'm gonna go from the valley straight up, straight up. I'm gonna put my thumb there so I know where to fold it. And then over here, I fold it over. It kind of looks like an ear. Then I trade thumbs. I put this thumb here, fold it over, and make an ear. And that is what our flowers are going to look like. Now, I'm going to unfold it again. James, you're doing an awesome job, man. I'm going to unfold it again. So watch me unfold it, and then we'll do it together again. I'm going to open one petal. I'm going to open the other petal. Open. I'm going to take my valley and open it up. I'm going to open it into a big giant diamond. Okay, Lincoln, good start. So Windsor, take your color and put it down on the table. Okay, James, great work catching so far. I have a diamond. I'm going to fold my diamond from the top to the bottom and fold it with my fingers. Right now, it points at my belly button. I'm going to turn it a somersault. So now it's a mountain. Now I have a mountain. Looking good, Amy. Lincoln, you did it! Score! Love it. My mountain, I'm going to take the peak of my mountain and fold it down below the entire mountain. I took the whole mountain and I folded it way down so it sticks out the bottom. Oop. Yeah, it kind of looks like a boat, doesn't it, Amy? Amy turned hers this way and she's like, it is a boat on the ocean. Do, 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 do. Okay. I'm going to put a submarine. What do we call that, Amy? Is that a good submarine? I don't know. We'll have to figure out a good name for this. Good, Windsor. Now.
Bird.
Oh, what, Amy?
It's a bird. It has wings, and then there's face.
I'll take it. I'll take it. She says it's a bird. Now, here we go. James, I'm going to go from the point and use my finger to go up to the top of that diamond. So point, go straight up. Hold it still, Windsor. The hand that's not, so this hand is holding still, isn't it? My other hand is going to fold it down. There you go. Yep, just there you go, Windsor. That's it, James. You got it. You got it. Now I have to trade fingers. Good folding, Windsor. I like that finger action. Now I'm going to trade and I'm going to put my other finger in the middle. James, you did it. Yes. Good work, man. Amy, you did it. So one side's a little big and one side's a little small, and that's okay. Because it's your first one. Windsor, did you do it? Yes. High five, my friend. Amy, you did it. Everybody did it. I'm super proud. I cannot even believe. Now, hold tight, Windsor. Before you fold that, I want to show everybody something. We have a bit of a situation, okay? I have my painting back out. Now, you don't need yours. Just watch mine. This is the flower I just made. It's rather large compared to my painting. You might love this large flower and want more large flowers. Or you might like some smaller baby flowers. How do we get baby flowers? Any ideas? Lincoln, talk to me.
We cut it.
Ah, gold star, Lincoln, I love it. Here we go. Ruby, I'll be right there. I'm going to take a square. Can you do this with me? Grab one of your origami papers. Let's make a square. I'm going to fold my square in half like it's a book. Hello, cute little pink book. Fold it up and down. There you go. It's my good book here. My book is kind of tall. I don't like tall books. So I'm going to take my tall book and I'm going to fold it all the way down in half. And now I have another square. Good idea, Amy, trying it on for size. I like that.
Now you fold it to make a flower.
Now I open it back up, Lincoln, and I get my scissors and I cut it. This way, Lincoln, I'm going to have 4 flowers the same size. But you were right on the money, my friend. So I'm going to have big flowers or little flowers. It is your choice, the size you make. There you go, Windsor. Okay, I'm going to fold mine again. If you want to watch with me, watch with me. If you know what you're doing, go ahead and do it. I have a diamond, and my diamond folds down into a triangle. Huh, triangle. Please turn yourself into a mountain. Now I am quite a lovely mountain. Oh no, somebody came and chopped the top off my mountain and buried it. Maybe I'm like a bird flying away. Tweet, 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 tweet. Bird is down. There you go, James. Good, Windsor. Do you remember the part where I go from the point straight up? You remember that part? Point straight up. And then I'm going to fold it over. Zip. This is the tricky part. I'm going to hold it on the other side and fold it down. This flowers ended up being even a little bit smaller. I kind of like the smaller flower. The big flower just feels giant. Ooh, I just had a genius idea. What if I put my baby flower inside my giant flower? How cool would that be? Just an idea. I'm gonna make some more flowers. I have a diamond. You got it, Windsor. You got it, lady. Let's see how many, and you think about with your painting, how many flowers you're going to need. You can change your colors as much as you want to. You should have a fair amount of colors for your origami. Okay. Ooh, there you go, Ruby. That was a cool way to do it. I'm going to fold it down. Move across the top. Love it, Lincoln. It looks awesome, man. I'm going to keep working on mine. Let me know if you need help. If suddenly the steps forget you. So, you know how sometimes you do things. Oh, Lincoln. Well done, man.
I made
Looking
I made
How
five
many?
flowers. I made 5 flowers, but I made only 4. So one of the flowers I put inside my big flower.
I love it. I love it. Fold it down. Let's see. Ruby, is it doing better? This origami doing any better for you, Ruby girl? Good. Phew. I know I'm like you, Ruby, because most origami is not my friend. But this one, I was like, this is not too hard. We can do this. Windsor, you're rocking it. Well done, Leo. All right. I think I might be close to having as many flowers as I want.
Do we need the origami paper for next week?
No, you can use as much as you need, Amy. That was a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah, smart thinking there. This is the only week for origami. I'm kind of going to lay my flowers where I want them to be. You could put several flowers together. Did you notice how I did that? I kind of put a bunch of flowers together. That's kind of awesome, if I do say so myself. Kind of fun. Maybe you like the big flower. Maybe you want your flowers to be more upside down flowers. Okay. Kind of start playing with your flowers on your painting and arranging them so you can see, do I have enough flowers? Have I made enough? Do I need to make more? I personally am not a fan of the giant flower on mine. Now, if you love the giant flower, that's good. Keep the giant flower. Okay. If you don't like the giant flower, my feelings are not hurt. If you don't like the baby flower, my feelings are not hurt. Go with the one you like. And if you want to combine them, that's cool too. How's it going, Windsor? Oh. Now, I will tell you something. If your flowers are a little bit different from each other, maybe that's not true origami to have flowers that are different from each other, but it is true to nature, right? Nature flowers in the real world are always going to be different from one another. Okay. So James, I'm kind of trying mine out and seeing where they fit and making sure I'm liking their size and the arrangement of them.
I had to turn on the TV for my brother and sister.
Oh, gotcha. No big deal, man. No big deal.
Because apparently after 6 years, Martin doesn't know how to operate a TV.
Yaya doesn't know how to sign in.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, it's a good thing you got a James around to help you out, huh?
I don't know how to sign in either. You're going to have to wait for Mom.
Oh, yep. Mom to the rescue. All right. I think I have enough flowers for mine. Now, if you're still folding, take your time. I want to go ahead and show you what we're going to do next. And it's actually moving all the flowers off my paper. The next thing I'm going to do is grab a Sharpie marker. I want to borrow some inspiration from Jim Dine. So let's go back and look at his paintings, his mixed media. And I'm going to start on the second one with the amaryllis. This watercolor painting has some beautiful black lines. But notice how Jim Dine added shadows. He added some shadows to the flower, the green leaves. Maybe where the leaves were close together, one of the leaves had a shadow. This painting, only one flower has color and the others are black and white. What if on our painting today, you kept the color ones that we have and added some black and white drawings around our colors? Ruby, what you need to share? What you thinking, Ruby girl?
Why does the camera fall? Okay. Yeah, I think that color, that flower is special.
Isn't it?
Yeah. And then the other ones are
I glue the flowers on now.
James, don't glue them on yet. Okay. We're trying to borrow some inspiration because actually before we glue our flowers, James, we're going to grab our Sharpies and we're going to add some shadows. Now, Jim Dine would have done some scribble. Now my marker just is dried up. Let me see if my other one's going to behave itself better. Uh-oh, I may have got, okay, that one might work better. I'm tracing around the edge of my stems. I'm not worried about perfect, okay? Perfect drawing is not where it's at today. I'm looking for the stems and I'm outlining them with the marker. Whew, all of my Sharpies are having a bad day. Come here, Sharpies. Do I have any more? I have a pile of
It
red.
kind of looks like the first one you did.
Huh?
It kind of looks like you cut it out and then stuck it onto the paper.
It has an amazing shadow. Yeah. And you know, Amy, I'm kind of going back over it. Do you see how my lines are getting a little thicker on that one? Because it's kind of coming towards you in the picture. So I started by outlining the stems. And yes, my lines are a little scribbly. So don't worry about perfect. If your lines, did you notice this line doesn't even touch my green stem?
Now can I call? Now can I glue?
No, you cannot. We are still
Why?
working on shadows and shading.
But I'm done with shadows and shading.
Ah, so now we're on to the next part of it, James. You're exactly right. Now I want to try to find some of the leaves from my flowers that are in the background. Now I don't want to trace all of them and I don't want to try to be perfect with it. Some of them, James, are going to be, there's going to be just some dark scribblies. Do you see my dark scribblies down here? Because that's shadow. Between my leaves kind of turned into shadow. I wonder what's over here. I'm going to pull that leaf back. Ooh, but it's, notice I added a little scribbly to that leaf because it's behind the stem. So I have to start thinking about what leaves are in front, which ones are behind and might need some scribbly shadows on them to make them a little more, have some more depth. Depth means in front and behind. Your marker may be a little scribbly dry like mine is, and that's actually not a bad thing for this picture. So I'm trying to find some of these leaves, trying to find which ones are in front, which ones are behind, adding some shadows, some shading, a little bit of scribbles. There you go, James. That's getting there. That's getting better.
I want to glue.
I know you do, but my friend, you need to get some more shadow down inside, a little bit darker. It's kind of, I don't know if you remember last week when we were doing hatching and cross hatching. That could be a great way to add shading. Windsor, is your marker getting a little dry like mine is? Last week with the mountains, James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of scribbly back and forth.
I'm gluing.
You're what? Are you grumpy?
I'm gluing.
I want to see the rest of your shading, James. Oh, there you go, Windsor. That's it. That's it. Yes. So cool. There you go, James. That's getting better.
No.
You can still add a little more shading, but I'll leave that up to you. Okay. Now, I think I might be fairly finished with my shading. Now, if your shading is not done yet, take your time. Okay. When your shading is done, Mr. James, you can start grabbing your flowers and putting a little glue on them and arranging them where you want them on your picture. Okay, so as you finish with your shading, go ahead and start
Glue
gluing.
tastes yummy.
Okay, it's a good thing it's non-toxic. Oh, there you go, Lincoln. That looks awesome. Very cool.
I'm not gonna let you see my picture until I'm finished because I have something that I don't think anyone else did.
Ooh, okay. Go for it, Lincoln. I'm excited. Oh. Now, take your time. If you're still tracing some leaves at the bottom, take your time. Just because I'm doing some glue doesn't mean you have to do glue. Okay, you go at your speed, your pace. Feeling as though I need just one flower over here. Take your time and set up your flowers the way you think they work best. There's not a right or wrong. I'm actually having to put this flower under that one. Let's see, here we go. Oh, that's kind of fun. Nice action there, James. Very fun.
You might not see me for a minute because I'm plugging in my computer because it's at 5%.
Gotcha. You got it. Take off. You know, I'm wondering, do you see how down in the bottom of my grass I have more shadow? Maybe I don't have enough shadow, and maybe I'm going to go back to my paint and get some dark green and add in some dark green with my shadow. This is how Jim Dine likes to work. So he'll do some painting, then he'll do some drawing, then he'll grab some more paint and add some shadow into what he's doing. So as you're working on yours, you may decide, ooh, I need darker green for shadow down at the bottom of my flowers. It's going to help your flowers feel a little more realistic when you do that. So maybe your Sharpie marker isn't quite dark enough, and you're going to grab your paint and add another layer. Take your time and play with some of the things on your picture. Maybe you're going to add some more Sharpie. Maybe you're going to add some more paint. Maybe you're going to go a little wild and crazy and use your Sharpie to add some lines to your flower petals. Okay, there's not a right or wrong at this point. I'm going to let you add in what you feel like your picture needs. I'm kind of not mad at those lines on my flowers. I kind of like them. Kind of fun. Kind of feeling like maybe they need a little drip drop of black paint in the center. Make them a little fancier. Oh, Amy, look at that handful. It's gorgeous. Okay, so Windsor's finished gluing her flowers. See what else. Ooh, nice color tones, Amy. Really lovely. And Amy, you could probably do with a little more shadow at the bottom of yours. One of the things I'm going to play with, Lincoln, I'm going to grab a little more dark and do what's called a vignette. So I'm going to add another layer of paint to the outside edge, so the outside edge of my painting feels a little bit darker than the center of it. This is called a vignette. I'm going over the outside edge and adding another layer of depth. Okay. So take your time at this point. Maybe you need your Sharpie marker to add details to your flowers. Maybe you need to add another layer of paint somewhere. Maybe you see that you forgot to outline something. Go even darker at the base, Amy. Even darker. Oh, whoa, Ruby, what is that? That is ginormous glue.
It's clear glue. Let me try.
I know, but that's a lot of glue, my friend.
Oh, I almost had it. Yeah. Well, we needed glue. I got glue.
I'll say, whew. Ooh, I'm excited to see what kinds of things you add. Now, here's a thought. Some of you might know how to do other things that are origami that might fit into your picture. Maybe you know how to make an origami butterfly. Maybe you know how to make other things that would fit in the category of origami and you want to add them in to your picture.
Maybe you can make a tiny gosling at the top.
Ooh, that could be fun.
A swanling. A swanling.
Ooh, yeah.
Here, Alexa, what do you call a baby swan?
Ooh, good question.
A young sickness is called a chick.
That's it.
Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm adding a little bit of shadow.
I added stuff.
Did. I see the vignette around your flowers. Okay, I'm gonna put it up on Spotlight, James, so keep holding it up for us. Ooh, pistons and stamens, good touch, good touch. I still think the leaves at the bottom need some darker tones on them, James. They need a little bit of shadow down in between the leaves.
Okay.
Yeah, looking good otherwise though. Windsor's working at it. Lincoln's working at it. Ooh. Oh, Windsor, what a brilliant idea. Unbelievable. Yeah, we got to turn this mic on.
I added the little pollen balls that the bees can land on.
Yes. But look, you have a flower sitting on the ground. That's what I'm in love with. How did you come up with that idea?
I don't know.
Well, don't you always find flower or the azalea petals on the ground? Oh, fine.
Is it kind of like, because in real life, flowers fall on the ground?
Bye.
Genius. Bye, James. I'll see you next week. That was so cool, Windsor.
Our teacher ever.
Windsor, this is super cool. Now, Windsor, did you add any more paint or any more shadows to your picture after you glued flowers down?
No.
you might want to, Windsor, at the bottom. Do you see how I added a little bit of shadows across the bottom of mine? Now my shadows are brown. You could just do dark green if you wanted to in between your leaves to help it look like it's kind of cool and chilly down in between your leaves. That's a really neat idea. All right, let's see what Amy's got going on. Amy, did you add some shadows in there, friend?
I tried to.
I can tell. I can tell. I love the different layers of green that you made. That is amazing. Can you hold on? I'm gonna put you back on spotlight. Can you hold it up one more time again? Because I wanted to be able to see it up close. Ooh, wait, your color choices for flowers are spectacular.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Very nice. Okay. Ruby, are you done?
I'm sorting my flowers. Yeah, she's
Oh.
flowers. Well, I already did shadows and stuff. Now I'm doing flowers. So I'm on my last thing.
Okay. Good deal. Lincoln, are you done?
I already used the rest of my origami. And I messed up on this. I found some Sharpie on it.
Yeah.
So I got like a yellow marker and went over it to make it pollen.
Genius. That was really cool. I love that idea. What good save
The
there.
rest of my origami paper.
Maybe all the flowers in yours fell to the ground like on Windsor's. That was such a fun idea. Yeah. All right, let's see what Lincoln's got today. Lincoln has kept his as a surprise. I have no idea. All right, Lincoln, what is this magical thing that you have done? Let's see. Oh, whoa, look at the double-decker origami. Oh, that is super fun, Lincoln. Wow. Okay, can you turn your mic on and talk to us about it? What made you think of that?
Whenever you said that we could add one of the medium-sized ones to the big one, I decided to make really small ones to go inside of the medium-sized ones.
Oh, very cool idea. Very cool. Lincoln, did you go back and add any shading maybe at the bottom with your leaves or anywhere like that? Ah, good. You did get some shading in there. You know, Lincoln, I might add just a little bit more still. Like it's just a little bit, but maybe do some more to help us feel where the light and the dark are. Could be a good idea. And even, Lincoln, here's one idea that could be easy. Do you see how I have a little scribbly shadow under my flowers? That is a really great way to show depth as well. Yeah. Ooh, Windsor's off doing some other artwork over here. What are you doing, Windsor girl? I'm so curious. Ruby's finishing up organizing on the flower situation here. Oh, okay, I like that. That's a good way to do some glue, Ruby. All right.
Glue's everywhere.
I know. Do you remember how we do? You just rub it until it goes away.
It's too sticky.
Oh, I can't wait
It's
to
already
see.
drying.
Good. It should dry pretty close, pretty fast. Now, you all and Windsor and Lincoln, listen, you probably have leftover origami paper. Okay? You can do whatever you want with that. Okay, it's yours. What? And no, please don't spill that, Ruby.
I
Please.
dropped my popsicle stick in here.
Well, girlfriend, that's a problem. It might be in there for good. Oh. All right. Well, Ruby's
Painting glue.
up. Cool. While Ruby's finishing up, it is right at 6 o'clock. And I know some of you have family things you need to take off and go do. All right. So I will see you all next week, Ruby. If you need to hang out for a minute, I can hang out with you for a minute.